Hi, I'm Rebecca Carner. Today I'm really excited for this tuning. It's sort of a special tuning, if you will, on integration. There are so many of my clients and the people who I know personally, and so much of the information that I see on the various social media feeds that I'm a part of are really focused towards self-work, self-actualization, noticing, changing patterns, improving your life, improving the relationship with yourself, with your body, with the world around you, etc., etc. And in this sort of endeavor, sometimes we forget that that integration time is needed and it's essential. Um, Sort of like when you're doing physical training, um, when you go to the gym and say lift weights or work really hard, what you're doing is actually you're ripping your muscles, you're stressing all the fibers, and then it's on your rest days that the fibers then build and you actually create muscle mass. When you work out, you're taxing and in some ways destroying a little, and then it's upon the rest that the new ground is gained. And in sort of self-work or spiritual work or energetic work, everybody take a nice big deep breath. The whole principle of rest and integration is just as needed and necessary as it is in terms of physical endeavors. And you know, we on an energetic or molecular or emotional or psychological level, we can have these amazing aha moments. Um, and then it can often feel that when it comes time to sort of deploy or put into action these sort of new paradigms, these new feelings, these new patterns that we've discovered, it's sometimes, there we go, really daunting and a little overwhelming. And it's like, well, it was so clear to me when I had this realization, why is the practice of it so difficult? And there we go. Really, really imagine all the energy that is available to you all the time. Imagine it, there we go, drawing up through you from the bottom of your feet, from the earth. I'm going to come around and do the topmost point in just a second, but this is really, and so all these new aha moments, all these patterns, all these things that you've now got sightline, that you've sort of uncovered and discovered about yourself. How do we really embody that? How do we integrate that? How do we make that ours? And there we go. It's interesting. This really wants to column up. I'm going to go ahead and actually draw that idea. So as we step forward from our feet into these new pathways, that channel really paves the path forward. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to come around and do the top. So I've seen it described really well, that sort of sense of, oh, I had such a clear realization. Why is it so difficult or so challenging or so sort of mysterious even how to integrate that and live it when I was so certain of it in the conceptual? And I've heard it described that it's molecularly very akin to building a new neural pathway. It's like to have a new thought is one thing, but your old pattern of thinking was so grooved, was so well defined, that even though you can have a new thought, to make that new thought the habit versus the old one is a practice. It is a process. It's not a one and done. It's noticing that you're following the old pattern. Then can I think along the new lines? Can I remember that? Can I catch it? And I think that's really helpful to realize. Not only do I have one aha moment, but I have to sort of support. There we go. Support those aha moments time and time again in all the different real life applications where they are useful. There we go. And then the other approach or sort of perspective that I've seen this phenomenon, this integration, and how do I really make it happen? Another way that I've heard it talked about is when you work with your energy field and when you have an experience of your energy body, everything is a two-way street. It's what we're transmitting in terms of emotion, verbalizations, thoughts, actions. Those are our transmissions, but we're also always concurrently receiving. And so when you have an aha moment or realize, oh, that's a pattern that I've done for X amount of years, I can change that. I have sightline on it. I realize I don't want to carry on with that. What we sort of forget is that for however many years that you've been doing that, you have formed a bond with the world where all incoming information you have received through the lens of that old pattern. So to realize, oh, I have a new lens, I can do this new pattern, you have to kind of remember to route all incoming information, emotional triggers, challenging characters or challenging circumstances. You have to rebond with everything you're coming your way through this new lens, through this new perspective. And that's really what the process of integrating is all about. It's not like mining for rubies where you go into the cave, you figure out, you get this ruby, you figure out where the vein is, you get the ruby, and then you always have the ruby, and it's sort of achieved in that one finding. These aha moments, depending on who you're working with or how whatever self-guided practices you're embodying, you can't just have the ruby and then all of a sudden you have the ruby and it's done. You have to always remember, oh, I have the ruby. Oh, I need to connect with the world as a ruby holder, as opposed to just say a turquoise holder or a rose quartz holder, that you always have to, you have to give the way, all the ways in which you've bonded with the greater world around you enough time to catch up and sort of settle into the new way, to the new order, to the new, I don't know, ongoing thought experiment that you'd like to try or that you've decided you'd like to try. I'm really centering here on sort of the solar plexus. I wanted this to be really about, so the solar plexus energy center is usually ascribed with the color yellow, and it is often described as our own personal sun, our sort of internal energy source. And so I'm just tuning. Yeah, that feels a little underpowered. It's like we've scrambled around and we've done all this mental work, but how do we drop it down into the body? There we go. And know that these new ways are available to us, to trust that we've done the work and that it's there, and as a constant supportive reminder that to be different, we're going to have to do different, and that we can try new things, and give this time to sort of sink in and really gel in our lives. And feel that fortification, feel that all of those new insights are really accessible to us. It's like, oh, what, I forgot exactly what I said, or I forgot exactly what so-and-so practitioner that I worked with said. It's okay. You don't have to remember the sentences. Know that the knowledge is in you. You were fully present for whatever that insight was. So that knowing, that knowledge is forever accessible and resident in you. Nice. Everybody really breathe into their belly. Nice. And imagine it really sort of yummily filled with all this accessible wisdom that's always here with us. Always at our fingertips. Nice. I'm going to column that up. There was a, I'm going to, after I do this, I'm just going to send some really soothing tones right to the heart. There was like a little tremor of fear in the chest about, well, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I've learned it well enough, or I don't know. I don't know. There was a little like, yikes. And we'll just tone that down in just a second. A lot of times with first-time clients after their first session with me, as they leave, I remind them that this whole process is it's a lot like riding a 10-speed bike. When you go around a corner and realize, oh, there's a hill, you change the gears on your bike to accommodate for the grade. Nice. To accommodate for the grade of the hill that you're going up. But it takes a couple of revolution of the pedals for the chain to get seated in the new teeth along the along the gear wheel. And And there's, it usually kind of makes a sound, or at least my old 10-speed bike did. It was like, and it's like, oh, gotta switch lanes and get into this other track so that we can go up this grade of hill with a lot more ease. And you have to allow for your heart, body, and mind and soul to go through that same sort of calibration and readjustment period. You can't just switch gears on a bike and then just suddenly with the next quarter turn of your pedals fully be in that gear. It takes a transition moment. And integration really is about making the space for that transition and for everything to sort of catch up with itself, and get on the same page. There, that just feels really light. All right, so wherever you are in your journey, whatever your personal endeavors are, and whoever you're seeking support from, really remember that you can also support yourself by knowing that you need this integration and transition period, and that however long it takes and whatever it looks like, you are absolutely where you need to be. You are in fact doing something. Integration doesn't mean that you rest or that you're hiding. You're actually doing something. It's productive. Anyway, all right. Well, that was a really quick integrative tuning on just being where you are, trusting yourself to have all the wisdom and everything that you need accessible to you. Keep on keeping on, y'all. Keep up the good work, and thanks for joining me. Visit RebeccaCarner.com if you'd like more information or to book a private session. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.